Good morning, it's 10:19. Welcome to Sunrise Radio with me, Shabnam Sahi. It's time for a special interview for CRY, which is Cardiac Risk in the Young. CRY's annual Raising Awareness Week runs from the 25th of November to the 3rd of December this year. And to find out more, please head over to c-r-y.org.uk/Sunrise Radio. Or to pledge your support this week, please text Sunrise to 70085. That's 70085 to donate £10. Joining me today is a very special guest. I've got Kulbir Nagra here with me. You became involved with CRY following the sudden and devastating death of your brother and son, Pardeep, in 2008. He was only 26 years old. And you have since raised almost £80,000 in his memory to fund screenings in the Midlands. And Kulbir was recently nominated for an ITV Pride of Britain Award due to his inspiring fundraising and awareness work, which was a wonderful and extremely worthy achievement. Kulbir, welcome to Sunrise.
No, thank you for having me.
Tell me in your own words why your family first became involved with CRY, Cardiac Risk in the Young.
I think the best approach is to say, explain it how everybody would with charity. Nobody really gets involved with charity until it becomes personal. I think we're all guilty of somebody on the street asking for some money or, a donation, and unless we know the individual or someone who knows somebody or the cause, we don't really want to get involved. And once they don't want to get involved, that's probably the wrong words. It's probably we don't know how to get involved. And basically, unfortunately, my brother passed away at the young age of 26 years old. Very fit, had his own business, played hockey, was actually on the verge of getting married, and then all of a sudden his life was taken away from us. And basically we as a family were devastated. My brother was the eldest of the family, so there's a lot of expectation and a lot of promise from his life. And basically we didn't want anyone to go through what we went through, and we didn't even know much about CRY. We firstly donated to British Heart Foundation and other causes, but we didn't know the extent of how good Cardiac Risk in the Young are. And they have many, many things that they do to help an individual. So once we learned about CRY, from that moment on, not only did we keep fundraising, but we kept striving to grow the awareness of the charity as well.
I was just going to come to that, since Pardeep's tragic death, could you explain all that you and your family have accomplished in terms of helping to prevent other families experience the same devastating grief that you guys went through?
Yeah, no, definitely. So obviously, first of all, Cardiac Risk in the Young, a very small charity, and one of the main things we wanted to do was to raise awareness, because not many people knew about the charity or what they actually stand for. So in 2008, unfortunately, my brother passed away, as mentioned, at the young age of 26, and we really wanted to come together as a community. And in 2009, I actually used to teach martial arts in a gym in Wolverhampton, and basically all the people who were there, especially the parents and their children, really wanted to do something for charity. So we actually did a sponsored, what we call a kickathon with children from 6 years old all the way to my granddad at the time who participated. We had over 150 participants, and basically it was a huge event for us in Wolverhampton, because it raised awareness with local press and local communities, but then also it also allowed me to start building the brand awareness of CRY and the charity within Wolverhampton and what it does. And then from that moment on, we didn't look back. In 2010, we had some individuals do Marathon des Sables, where it's basically running a marathon for 6 days. Every day you run a marathon, which is over 250 kilometres.
Wow. A
few years later, we then did our first charity ball event with over 300 people attending. And all that money raised, we actually was able to then fund our first CRY screening event in 2013. And this is where basically the money that we raised was then given to Cardiac Risk in the Young, who then put that in turn back in Wolverhampton to test young people's hearts. And that was the first time ever done in Wolverhampton, to what I know at the time. And that was in 2013. And then we went from strength to strength from there. We did more events in 2014, where again I used a martial arts centre. We had someone in the following year cycle over Tibet. We then had people doing Tough Mudder exercises.
It sounds absolutely amazing.
Yes, we had so many events, but basically from there, I could go through each individual one, but basically since my brother passed in 2008 until now, which has been over 15 years, but basically we've done an event every year. Could it be a sporting event, a charity event, a gala event, a beauty event, you name it, we've done it basically.
Sunrise Radio.
You're on Sunrise Radio with me, Shabnam Sahi. I'm in conversation with Kulbir Nagra. We are talking about the commendable work that CRY, Cardiac Risk in the Young, does. Kulbir, if you could please tell our Sunrise listeners about CRY's screening program and why it is so important for young people to have their hearts tested.
Especially in the Asian community, basically, I'm a big one for this, but, all our families, we're dud. We're always going to, dud and care, everything, we're going to be healthy.
Yes.
Everything's fine, but I'll be very honest with you, the Cardiac Risk in the Young screening, it's priceless. Like I mentioned before, my brother played hockey at a very competitive level. He was fit and healthy, and then all of a sudden he just unfortunately had cardiac arrest, which is basically called a part of SADS. But basically, it can happen to anyone. People have probably seen many years ago Fabrice Muamba for Tottenham Football Club when he collapsed on the pitch, and luckily Premier League have all these, things available there and then. But, for day-to-day people, it's a lot harder. And basically, what Cardiac Risk in the Young screening does, it's basically a non-intrusive test. They're free. They're readily available all over the UK. You literally go online to the website you mentioned earlier, cry.org. You sign up for free. You basically attend, and they carry out some very simple non-intrusive testing on yourself. Takes about 5-10 minutes. And literally, if they find anything, they help guide you going forward to help resolve that. And if they don't, you've got that peace of mind to make sure that you are fit and healthy and continue as you are.
Now, I know you've referenced this in our chat already, but do you think awareness could be better amongst our British Asian community?
I think all over the UK, to be honest. I would say more so in the Asian community, basically because obviously I know you guys do great work. Obviously you did the radio marathon was it a couple of years ago, I think it was. Obviously the event a couple of years ago as well. But I think yourselves and myself included, I don't know many people who raise awareness for cardiac risk in young, so I just don't think people know. And it becomes very as simple as that. Cardiac Risk in Young don't have a budget like other charities to be on TV or do all these advertising. And for me, the CRY Awareness Week, or even just me and you talking about it today, if we have 5 listeners or 10 listeners going on their website, that's more than enough for me, because then potentially we've saved somebody's life. We've saved a mother and father from losing a son or a daughter or husband or wife or anyone in someone's family. And I just think in a culture, anything health related, unfortunately, sometimes is kind of swept under the carpet. Sometimes we go to religion and it's not spoken about too much. And I think what we're doing today, especially what you guys have done fantastic over the years with raising awareness. And I think even just people talking about it and raising awareness, it's fantastic, and I think we need more of it.
Now, Sunrise Radio, of course, is delighted that CRY is our charity partner once again this year. Now, lastly, Kulbir, do you have a personal message, something that you'd like to share with our listeners? Why do you think listeners should become involved in supporting a charity like Cardiac Risk in the Young?
God, it's a lot harder to say and easier to do, but if someone is listening right now to the radio or in the future, you imagine for 1 minute to close your eyes and literally have nothing on the background, and you can't imagine it, but just imagine that one loved one not being in your life for that day, a week, a month, and you can't imagine it. You just can't. It really does destroy a family and one's love. And if you can do a difference in anyone's life, even at work around a coffee table or your cousins, or you go into a bar or anything, and you say, oh, have you heard about CRY? Just have a look at what they do. And I think what Cardiac Risk in the Young do, it's a preventative measure and not a reactive measure. So we're involved in putting defibrillators all around Wolverhampton as well. But that's more reactive. But if we can stop even that person even going for that event and being tested first, which again is free. This is why we do this fundraising. The individuals listening, you don't have to pay a penny. Literally all it does, it takes your time on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, maybe even in the week. Go and get tested, take your children, take any of your nieces and nephews who play football or go to dance classes and bungalow lessons, and just get checked out. And that for me is more than enough. We've achieved more than other people probably could do in a lifetime. So anyone listening, Go out there, get checked, go on the website, cardiacriskintheyoung.org, get yourself checked out, and if you want to go one further, as mentioned, Sunrise, you can donate to themselves, who then give it directly to CRY. And let's make a difference, let's be the change that we want to be and potentially save people's lives, and that's what we're here to do today.
Fantastic, Kulbir. Thank you so much for your time. I was in conversation with Kulbir Nagra. Despite their devastating loss, they have gone on to raise almost